What's up, Yup gang? It's your boy Taxon, and welcome back to bt24 Things. And today we're going to be diving into the highly requested list that people have been seeing me play on my streams. Also, this is my most recent locals winning list as well. This is Yellow Bardock. Before we get into it, guys, I do want to say if you guys have any custom mats and or sleeves, absolutely check out Promats, guys. This is the best place to go get your custom card needs, and if you guys do decide to get a mat from them, make sure you use the promo code Yup to save on your entire order. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed this deck or my content in general, remember to hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and once we get there, we'll be doing a big giveaway. So anything that you can do to help us get us there and rush the process, definitely big news. With that being said, guys, let's turn it around and dive in. Alrighty, guys, here's the deck. Now let's go ahead and go over it. Starting off with the leader. Auto once per turn. If it's your turn, when you play a Bardock's Crew card, you draw one card. Awaken if your life's at 4 or less, or if you have 4 or more Bardock's Crew card names, or cards with different card names in your energy, Z energy, battle area, and or drop. You may draw one card, untap an energy, and then rip yourself down to 6. When you get to the back side, you retain almost the same exact auto as the front side, except for now it triggers on your and your opponent's turn. When this card attacks, you get to use a Bardock's Crew card with the 0/5 in your drop area combo with the skills negated for the battle. Or for the turn, and then activate main. Once per turn, you get to choose one of your Bardock's Crew cards in your battle area, switch it to rest mode, choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and then KO it. So you're going to be spamming the board with a bunch of Bardock's Crew cards and then doing everything you can to maintain your opponent's board. Starting off the deck with our 1-drops and also the ways that we're going to be shoving the names into certain areas to help awaken our leader as fast as possible. So we got Bardock Crew Leader, Fasha's Feelings Bequeathed, Shuga's Feelings Bequeathed, Borgus Raiders Warcry, and Borgus Feelings Bequeathed. So these 4 right here all have a search ability type of effect. This one, when he's played, he top 5s and then grabs a Unison with a 2-cost or less, or any 4-cost or less Bardock's Crew card, and then that will trigger the front side of your leader as well. So turn 1, you can play this, top 5 search, and draw. This one essentially has an activate main. You pitch it from your hand, she goes to the drop area, you get to top 5 search and grab any, essentially the same exact requirements as this, 4-cost or less Bardock's Crew card, or a yellow Unison with a cost of 2 or less. This guy just draws a card, triggers your leader, so draw 2. This guy is actually really good. This guy top 7s. He chooses one Bardock's Crew card, no requirement. So that's really good. That's why I like him a lot. And he adds another name. So he's Borgus Raiders Warcry, whereas he's Borgus Feelings Bequeathed. So like if I play him and then charge him, these count as 2 separate cards towards my Leader Awakening, which is pretty nice. And then this guy is simply a counterplay. When this card is played, you get to choose one of your opponent's 7 or less cards and switch it to rest mode. Not a super great card, but it does come up in certain instances, like a lot of 4-cost good cards in this game nowadays, a lot of 4-cost double strikers and things like that. So this can rest it and deal with things like that. So pretty nice. Moving on from that, essentially, yeah, these are the things that we're going to be doing in order to awaken our leader. Turn 1, play this, comboed off, get it to your Z energy, whatever it is. You either charged 1 and then discard this to top 5, so that's already 3 names. The moment you charge an energy, as long as it's a separate card that you've already played, you will be awakening your leader. So there goes our 1-drop lineup for the Bardock Crews. Going into the more aggressive pieces of the deck, we have our apes. We have Borgus same potential and Great Ape Shuga's same potential. Essentially, these guys do play out the same way. It's once you meet your leader's awakening requirements, these guys' activate mains are on live for limit 1. You can play them whenever you want, essentially, as long as you have that requirement live. But they both gain a keyword skill when you're on 3 or more energy. This guy being a dual attack, this guy being a double strike. They both retain an auto that when they're switched to rest mode, they get to untap. Specifically, this one says that if it's switched to rest mode in general. This one says if it's switched to rest mode by one of your skills. So if you're ever in a yellow matchup and this card's just switched to rest mode, maybe by paying cost for your Floodgate or Power of Super Saiyan or something like that, it will just restand. So he rested something during the activation to play. This one KOs something in rest during the activation to play. And then they both untap when you use your leader's effect to KO whatever you tap. Moving on from those guys, these are the main pressure pieces. They're just one-drop keyword skill attackers. Coming in from here, we have this guy right here, Bardock Saiyan Invasion. this guy has a lot of text on him, but essentially more than likely all you're ever going to be utilizing this card for is to activate battle to play him on your opponent's turn. That way you can utilize your the coolest part about this leader is that you can trigger draws on both you and your opponent's turn. So like, let's say you're ever in a situation where they're about to pass turn, they're in their final attack, and you know it's their final attack. You have an extra energy up, you pay 1, you draw a card if your opponent has 2 or more energy, you slap him down, that will trigger your leader, you'll draw a card, and then now you have an attacker in the field, and you just cycled a card, drew a card, which is pretty nice. And then he also has some text on him that makes him kind of a threat. If you have 4 more energy and you don't have another battle card in play other than this card, at the start of your main phase, he'll gain double strike for the turn and 15k. So he's a 30k double striker, which is pretty nice. And then auto, if one of your other battle cards is removed or KO'd from the battle area, or I apologize, KO'd or removed from the battle area by opponent's skill, this card will gain barrier for the turn. So he becomes one of those, he kind of becomes like a card that gets targeted first because he will gain barrier if they, like, let's say that you have your 2 threats out, you play him out on your opponent's turn, and now they're standing at this like, wow, if I remove this, now this guy becomes barrier and I can't remove this. So a lot of the times he ends up becoming the priority, leaving these guys up for the second wave of removal, or just forcing your opponent to jump through extra loops, which is pretty nice. Going into the next card, and probably the newest and baddest card, the sweetest card for the deck, the reason I came back and wanted to retest the deck, Philip Tarpini, the G concept design. This is amazing. Okay, so anyways, 4 cost, Bardock, Heritage of a Legend, 20k, 0/5, all the cool stuff that you could possibly want. Counterattack, limit 1, play this card, does not negate the attack. Permanent, if it's your opponent's turn and your leader is yellow or a Bardock's crew card and you have 2 or more Z energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3 yellows. So essentially he becomes a 1 colorless. So makes him easy to play in other Bardock's crew decks as well, like the red and the blue one as well. When this card is played, your opponent cannot attack with cards for the turn unless they place one of their rested cards into the owner's drop area. This is a very, very hefty skill cost, and it still cannot. Your opponent still cannot target their barrier cards with this. So if you're ever in like that Vegito matchup and all they got down rested is their Vegito 6-drop, you're kind of in a good position because they can't blow that up to continue attacking. Anyways, the most broken part about this, not the floodgate. The floodgate's really good, but the most broken part about this, in this deck specifically, or in yellow Ape Coup if you decide to play it in that deck, if it's your turn, when this card is switched to rest mode by one of your skills, you get to draw 1 card and switch this card to active mode. That makes your leader effect that's KOing cards draw you cards. So now your leader is drawing a card on your turn, your opponent's turn, and whenever it KOs a card, which is absolutely huge. So now this card becomes priority removal, which makes these guys stick around longer, making your aggressive plays normally a lot better. This card's absolutely broken. Play this at a 4 of, you don't play this at less. It's also a Bardock, a different card name for your awakenings. Like I said, they don't need, like down here in the character name, does not have to be different. It's up here. So Bardock Crew Leader, you could charge this, this, and this, and these count as 3 different names towards your 4 for awakening. So pretty cool. Broken card. I could talk about this card forever. Really, really good. Moving on, we got Bardock, Farther, and Sun. I only run this at a 1 of, but essentially the way I look at this card is it's a free tap and it's a free draw. So in this deck, in order to trigger your leader draws, most of the time you're paying an energy for it. Like all the time you're paying some type of energy for it, but you'll trigger your leader and trigger whatever you paid to play. And normally those are a draw or a KO of some sort or some type of pressure. This guy essentially just becomes like oh, I got floodgated, I don't want to put out a body, I know I'm going to get removed, or that'll trigger your leader. Or, you know, you're in a situation, you don't have your overwhelm, your opponent just dropped a token negate, you drop this, you rest it, you keep swinging through. Good card. I feel like there's not much to say about it. It's a free play 15k that triggers a draw. So this is the main Bardock package. This is my main Bardock engine. The main aggressive, main aggro part of the core. This is what we're playing out for the most part. Now we're going into our generic yellow stuff. We're running 3 Flying Nimbus. It's a fantastic meta for Nimbus. Everyone wants to answer battle card floodgates, so like we're all moving to extra card floodgates, which is just the way. Makes sense to me. We're running 2 Frieza Army reinforcements. Card's great. Card's great. A lot of the times you're just using it as a free negate. You never really account this card for stopping 2 attacks no more nowadays. You're really just saying it's a free negate. The 1 of Power Super Saiyan, just Still too good not to run. Rest something. The 2 time magics, there's a lot of dual attackers in this game. There's yeah, this card's just extremely good. Just locking things down, locking down 6-drop from end use. There's just so many good cards to lock down with this. Anyways, we're moving on from that. After the extra package comes Mecha Frieza. We only run 3. This is not our priority floodgate anymore. We're really not worried about dropping this. We'll charge these. We're not worried about like holding on to these. It is kind of harder to set up because turn 1 we need to charge some type of crew, and then turn 2 we need to charge some type of crew unless we. Well, on turn 2 you technically don't need to charge another crew because you can just tap whatever energy to play another card, and as long as you hit Fascia on turn 1 or 2, you'll have all 4 names, because you'll have the 1-drop of some sort that you played on turn 1. That'll count as a name. Your energy will count as a name, and then the Fascia will count as a name. So as long as you play some type of card on your turn 2, you can charge an extra card. So it's a little harder to set up because of the awakening condition in this deck, but it's still useful. Moving on. Frieza's brother, Metacooler, Infinite Terra. What a coincidence, he's a negate as well. He negates the attack, he comes out if you're a Z leader for free, and then essentially he becomes 15k barrier if you have Bond 2, which most of the time you do. Moving on from that, we have our super combo split. We have 3 Krillin, and if we're running 3 Krillin, then you know that we're running the 1 Piccolo Gohan. This is just what I run, simply because I do not own a Bursting Rage. Bursting Rage is good in this deck, do not get me wrong. If you want to run Bursting Rage, definitely rock that out. I do think that running the double Z leader option is really, really good, but also at the same time, this deck creates Z energy super fast, and you're never in a situation where like paying 1 for a double strike leader is like super bad, especially a lot of the times you're holding it for late game anyways. But Bursting Rage is essentially a floodgate, so I guess in a deck full of floodgates, having another floodgate's pretty good. Coming up, we have SS3 Son Goku Universe at Stake. This card is absolutely really good. There has been instances where I've screwed myself though with my Z extra card, so you do got to be careful and make sure you utilize the Z extra during his first attack in order to make his second attack a thing. Now normally you swing with him, he rests something, he swings for 30, and then if your opponent not your opponent, but if you have all your cards in your battle area in rest mode, he can untap. But if you have your Z extra out, it can't be switched to rest mode by any of your skills. So a lot of the times, if it doesn't get negated, the first attack doesn't get negated, you just use that Z extra during this attack or during another attack to get rid of it, so that that card becomes full value. A couple more one-ofs. We have 1 Sin, kind of just gotta run the card is good. 1 Majin Buu, kind of just get. You really don't gotta run this. If you don't want to run this, don't run it. It's just a 1-cost 30k double strike. And then our 1 Overwhelm Secret Identity Max Saiyan. Not much to say about it. Big border removal. Pretty good. With that being said, let's go ahead and move some of this out of the way, and we'll talk about the Z deck options that I grabbed. I'll leave the main core up. So, start off with the Z extra because I already talked about it. 1-for-1 activate battle. The top activate battle you do not have to pay an energy for, so that's why I say you can just use it during this card's first attack. You just place 1 of your Z energy to the drop area, move this card from the game, and then choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards. Switch it to rest mode, and then choose 1 of your cards that gets +10. So it would, essentially you just pop a Z energy, remove this, now he can untap, and he's a 40k for that attack, which is pretty nice. Another really good thing about this is the pay 1 skill negate something. A lot of people will respect this. If you play this out, they won't play nothing or dump if you have enough Z energy to utilize that effect, which is really good. We have the 1 SSB Vegeta surmounting the impossible. This is really just a backup, like if so facto I really need to get myself to 4 to awaken, I'm whiffing that hard. Almost never happens. Sometimes I have played it, don't get me wrong, I have played it, just it barely ever happens. Bardock, the Z leader, really good. We only run 1 because we're not running the Bursting Rage version of the deck. If we were running Bursting Rage, I would be running 2 of this so that I can go into it again after my Bursting Rage play. But anyways, you 3 Z energy, 1 energy if your life's on 3 or less, double strike for 20k. When you combo with a Bardock's True card, you draw 1 And then you have the activate main, essentially the same thing as your front side, except for this time you're choosing yeah, I apologize, let me read this. You're choosing 2 cards and you're skill negating them before KOing them, which is absolutely huge. This Z leader makes going into that big 8-drop Goku in the new blocker Goku deck not a problem, because you just go, oh yeah, I'll skill negate and KO that, I will pitch no cards, thank you. It's a pretty good card. He also has an activate battle that you can gain 3,000 power for every different name of a Bardock screw you have in your Z energy. So this doesn't work like the Awakening. It's actually asking for the character names, and there's only 5 total Bardock crew members, so the maximum you can get if you actually get 5 in your Z energy is a 15k boost, but otherwise it's just a 3k per different Bardock screw you have in your Z energy, which a lot of the times, like that I've found, you're never really getting more than 2, because I don't play the Bursting Rage. If you play the Bursting Rage version of the deck, you probably can get like 3, 4, 5, but like most of the time, I Z Awaken, it costs me 3. I normally only have like 1 or 2 Z energy left to use the effect. So, anyways, moving on from that, we have a few more things. One of SSB Son Goku finishing blow, deflect, dual attack, barrier, critical. Not much more you can ask about it. He's pretty good. He's like goes 15 and then a 20, and I believe he's KOing things every single time he attacks as well. Yep, so it doesn't ignore barrier, but as long as the card's in rest mode, he's KOing it and gaining 5k, so it's 15 and then 20 dual crit. Not bad. Our barrier removal, dual attack, if the barrier card's in rest mode, he is crit, so dual crit, barrier removal, not bad. Oolong, we do play Piccolo Gohan, so Oolong is just a super, super cheap way to go for essentially 2 40k attacks for 1. So you can combo this on something, like, I mean, let's say you just do it on your Z leader. Big number, right? He plays out, you go 1 for this. Now you got these 2 attacks as well. So Piccolo Gohan's still good. Still like this card a lot. And then our last Z card. We are not running a full 10. I do playtest with a buddy that runs the King Meki Secret Rare, so I rarely put my Z decks at 10. But with that being said, dual attack for 2. That's really the only reason I play the card. Nothing else on that card is worth reading. It's just a dual attack 15 for 2 energy. With that being said, guys, that was the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. If you guys enjoyed it, remember to always hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, we will see you guys next time.